Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Wanted to touch on today making a swing change and some of the key things that I encourage players to do when they're going through that process. Usually, if you can sort of stick to this type of protocol at some point, it's going to start to feel more comfortable, okay? So when we're doing it at the start, if we go fast, we will have a tough time making a swing change. So we got to start with step one, slow swings, okay? So we're going to be picking one specific thing to work on in the swing, okay? So as we get into say the backswing position, if I'm working on something in the backswing, okay, so say I'm working on just making sure the takeaway's relatively neutral and not too far inside as an example. When I'm doing that, so every time I'm going to rep it, I'm going to feel it, and then I'm going to start going even a little slower, okay, to feel where the club head is, okay, as I get that first move back. So I'm making sure the club head's in the right spot first, okay, and then if that is like step one of this, okay, nice, slow, feel it, and then I'm chipping, okay? These ones were not really, honestly, it's actually pretty hard sometimes to hit them that soft. So I will recommend that people do this kind of stuff on a tee. So say again, feel it, and then move through the shot, okay? So say that's step one, is making sure the takeaway is good. I'm breaking it into pieces, starting slow, okay? Step two, I'll just be efficient through this process. If it's a backswing key, okay, so good takeaway, and say I'm working on arms not getting too far behind me, okay? So I get into this position, check it once, go back, feel it again. Okay, that's the feeling. A couple more, that's the feeling. Maybe eyes closed on one. Okay, that's the sense. Eyes closed again, that's the sense. Okay, up to the top, feel it once, and then come through impact again. Not really like I'm paying attention to the strike and the impact, but my main focus is, did I do what I was trying to do, okay? Some players, two things, you're gonna max it out with how much you can pay attention to in a swing, okay? So I like breaking it down. So on this swing, I'm just doing takeaway. Even if I went fuller, okay, that's just takeaway focus, obviously. And then if I was like, okay, next one, I'm just gonna do top of the backswing focus, okay, good arm position, right? And then I hit it. So I'm looking at, on each swing, picking one very specific thing to do, and then slowly scaling it up, right? So starting slow, and then start scaling it up from that movement. So again, we're breaking it into pieces first, okay? In this example, first was takeaway, second was top, okay? So now, on this one, I'm gonna do a little bit of both, but slow, okay? Good takeaway, good top, and then through. Okay? And then, there's no limit on this, right? Because I could hit, you know, a whole large basket just doing that. There's no downside. Sometimes people want to go right away to full speed, and that's not going to be the best way to make a swing change. We're going to start lots of reps, you know, and then I would video it to make sure it's changing. Say I was in here, right? And now on my video, I look where I want to be. Okay, so that means I'm doing it enough. If I'm still in here, then I'm going to have to feel like, okay, maybe I got to be more that way. And then you'll video it, and then you'll be able to check, okay, am I doing enough of the exaggeration to see the change that I want? The next step as I go through that, right? So I do whatever, a large basket of that shot, which is, that's what people usually rush through. The good players, the pros that I teach, they would do that all day, that exact drill, right? It would be like something very slow, feel it, and then they hit the shot, and they would just do it over and over and over and over until they feel like they got it. Usually less experienced, or I would say players that have a tough time making a change, they'd speed through that a little too fast, okay? So we wanna slow down, make sure you get the movement, make sure you get enough reps doing it how you want, okay? That's essential, okay? And then I mentioned we could do some reps eyes closed to heighten the awareness a little bit, okay? So getting the eyes closed, feeling it. So my eyes are closed here, feeling what I'm trying to do, okay? Each time, feel that, okay? That's the movement, perfect, okay? And then you could even, if you had the video going, like I'll hit this one eyes closed, feeling that same thing. So that's eyes closed. really trying to exaggerate the movement. That one, sometimes you hit it good, sometimes you don't, but you can't even focus on the ball. You're focusing only on the move. So that's a fun way to do it too. Once you do enough of those, okay, then we could talk about blending that into, I would start with like a 20% effort, right? So I say 20%, but like say that my max with 8 would be 100, right? Miles an hour. So 20% would be 20 miles an hour. I feel 20%, that's still 58 miles an hour, that last one, okay? So it's not gonna be that slow. It's not gonna be 20 miles an hour, but the idea that it's that slow, I think is a good way to do it. And then just keep building it up until, so that would be, you know, maybe my 50% kind of effort. And then I was, okay, you know what, I did a pretty good job. That's what I'm trying to do there. And then I do it again. Same thing. So this is my 60% effort. And I do it, and I say, oh, you know what? I felt like my 50 was a lot better than my 60. Okay, I'm gonna go back down to 50%. I'm gonna work there, and then I'm gonna work my way up to close or all the way up to 100%. Check it on video, make sure I'm making the change that I want to. If I go to 80% and the takeaway changes a lot, whoa, slow down, go slower, regroup, start to go a little bit more like 50 versus 80. You don't want to skip too far ahead, especially if it's not allowing you to make the change that you want. I do that every time when I'm working with someone. We're always starting slow. It's amazing how hard slow can be, okay? So give that one a go. Use that concept as you're trying to make a change. Hopefully the swing change you're making is the direction you need to go. If you need any more info on that, or you want to connect so I can give you my eyes for a little bit online or something like that, just you can see that in the description below, because you obviously want to make sure you're going the right direction. That is a good way to start to implement a swing change efficiently, and there's no timeline on this, right? Maybe it's 1 week, hey, I'm going to hit a large basket just doing my 2 things at 20%, right? Because if you actually make the change, it's going to be worth it, right? So it's like when you play, but when you're working on it, you know, actually work on it. Try to make a change. Don't go out there just to swing and get exercise. If you're trying to work on something, be specific, start slow, and then build from there. I hope this helps you guys. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to sharing more with you in the future.